Yo, 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 welcome to another episode of Across the Hobby. This week for the week of March 31st, I'm your host, Adam Gray, the Real 27 guy on Instagram. Please follow me there. Please give us a like. Please do all the things. This week, we're going to be looking at not only the amazing auctions that we have coming up this week across the hobby, but we're going to look at a few of the big time sales that we saw in the last few days. We've seen some crazy big sales over the course of the last week. I don't want to be too hypey but we've seen some really big numbers recently. And so I think it's important to look at not only what's ahead, but also what's happened. But most of the show will be about what's going to go forward. Let's jump right into it. I do not have a lot of time today, and so we're just gonna jump right in. So we're gonna start with Fanatics Collect. This Scoring Kings Jordan right here was a big sale that happened last night. Last night we saw this card sell for $78,000. Now this card, you probably can't tell from the image here because the autograph doesn't show up perfectly. There's an autograph right here on the card. See it if you know what these flips often look like. You see the auto of a 9 here. The card is autographed. This is an in-person autograph. If you check the pop report, this is the only one on the pop report, but there is at least one other of this card that was a buyback version. That means that back when Fleer the rights to Fleer were acquired by Upper Deck after the bankruptcy, that at least one of these was signed by Jordan. And I had enough people mention to me in my comments on the post that I made about this card on Instagram that there's one that was signed in silver. Now you can look at this card and immediately just know silver would be a better choice here for an autograph. That notwithstanding, and by the way, that doesn't show up in the pop report because it came out of another product. It is an in-pack product, so you'll have to look at, it's probably 2012 retro on the pop report to see that. But this is an in-person Jordan autograph. And it stood out to me as a major auction because, and this is why I highlighted it again on my Instagram, it stood out to me as a major auction because it is an iconic Jordan insert. I've said for a long time, this and the Jambalaya are the two most iconic Jordan inserts. And I think you've got a good case with either one. People might say that the Beam Team from 92 is also in that same sort of like iconic image of an insert. Not talking about parallels, talking about inserts. Yes, parallels are a form of an insert. Parallels are also their own thing. So when I talk about inserts, I'm typically not including parallels, although I am including parallels of inserts. Huge sale, though, in the world of in-person autographs, because for Michael Jordan, it is such an iconic card, but it's also not a card that we've historically looked at as like a great in-person autograph card. That's more about base cards and cards that are just really well known. This card is well known, but it's also rarer. So not crazy rare. Right? These were like one per box back in 1983. There's lots of these. But yeah, just a huge sale for the world of in-person autographs. All right, let's keep going. I didn't do my top 4 for Fanatics Collect that I usually do. It would have been these 3, the Kobe World Cup, this LeBron limited logos, and one of these that's down here. And my guess is that people would have voted this LeBron as the card that was going to be the most expensive of the night. But this one really rallied. There's something to be said. Let me just say this real quick. There's something to be said for putting a huge card in a weekly auction setting like this, because it just really stands out. You know, where at the premiere, we've got a couple dozen, sometimes 6-figure cards, just very, very often 10 or more 6-figure cards. And then, a ton of 5-figure cards, like dozens and dozens of 5-figure cards. There's fewer here, right? And so a card like these two here up at the top could really stand out. I also want to highlight this Topps box. I did a reel on the missing Steph Curry Superfractor that I posted last week. That's what a 36-pack box costs at this point, $22,000. My math's right. That's about $600 and something per pack of basic 2009 Topps. These were at one point $2 a pack, and now they are $600 or $700 a pack. Pretty incredible stuff. We can keep going on those, but the time is very short today, so we're going to go fast. At Golden, oh, you know what? Actually, this was just my main screen that I had up. So for Golden, I had to pull up the individual items, so we're just going to fly through these real quick. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, PSA 10. I asked the question a couple weeks ago, what would you rather have, the number 2 of 10 Shai in a PSA 9 or a Pop 3 PSA 10? And I said I'd rather have the PSA 9 jersey number. The hobby community massively disagreed here, because while the 9 sold for, the 9 where it was number 2 of 10 sold for, I'm not going to look it up, but I think it was like 90 grand. This one sells for 152,000. So the 10 really mattered here a lot. Way overcame the fact that it was a jersey numbered copy and sold for 60% more. So again, just because you prefer something doesn't mean the whole of the hobby prefers it. That's really the lesson here. The Ichiro that I pointed out in my top 10 post, I wanted to highlight real quick. There are 49 of these that have ever been graded across all of the major graders, as far as I could find. And so they don't pop up very often, but it was a media card that there's believed to be like 200 total that were printed, and they came out 6 years before all of the other major Ichiros. I think the major Ichiros started coming out in 2001. There might be some lesser known ones. In fact, I know there are, but the more major cards came out 6 years after. So to see the Ichiro pop up doesn't happen very often. Neat to see it sell for 11 grand. LeBron James 2016 Prism Gold. Not everybody's favorite year of Prism Gold, if we can put that kindly, but still a 10 and still only a Pop 3. It's still 28 grand on that one. Maybe the best looking Kobe Bryant shiny card ever. This is a card that really has a cult following, and I want to come back to this one in a little bit, related perhaps to something that we're going to see this week that's at auction. But if in case I forget to do that, I just say that image yields $22,000. And you might say, well, no, also, Adam, like really rare Kobe refractors sell for a lot of money. I get that, but not really as much from Topps Pristine. This is a big number for a card out of Topps Pristine. And again, I really ascribe that higher bid in this case to the fact that it's really just a wonderful image of Kobe. I've talked to people over the years as far as cards that they're looking for, Kobe refractors that they'd like to find. And every time somebody gets this card in their collection, you can just see them sort of go, wow, this is an amazing card. We talked about it last week, and so it's good to see it do as well as it did. I'm going to leave that one up here. I want to talk about this Jaylen Brown real quick. This is the gold version to 10, and this is one of those years where the gold really means something in terms of aesthetics. This is a beautiful card, especially compared to the rest of Jaylen's RPAs. So it's number 10. You can see the hollow foil around the window and in the top of the card. It's a BGS 9, which is a pretty strong grade. But despite the fact that Jaylen Brown has had an incredibly successful career, and he's very popular, is a number 3 pick. He's had an exceptional career. We're talking about a $5,000 card. And to me, this is I don't want to say cautionary tale. That's too broad. But it's really interesting that you could have somebody who's as successful as Jaylen Brown, a finals MVP, multi all-star. I don't know how many all-NBAs he's made, but he's had it, by all accounts, a very successful NBA career. $5,200 for one of his best cards. It's kind of shocking to me. You would think that compared to everybody else that it would be far more, but it's not. I always tell people this. People always want to talk about how good a player is being the end all. It's not about how good a player is. It's about how popular they are. And I said a few moments ago, he is popular. He is, but he's not as popular as maybe his talent sort of, you would think that they would line up. He's probably lower on the popularity scale than he is on the talent scale. And sometimes that really hurts or hinders values for players. On the other side, you've got Keontae George, who has some following. He's still younger, right? He was drafted 7 years after Jaylen Brown, and this is one of his best cards in existence. Nebulas are on fire, but the fact that you're spending 3 times as much for Keontae, as you are for Jaylen Brown. Like we would, as Jazz fans, we would die for Keontae George to be anything close to Keontae, or to Jaylen Brown. And so it's a reminder also of like the power of a player's best card, or one of his best cards, the power of the important one of one. I'm like, this price does not surprise me even a little bit, because it's the Nebula Keontae George. It's a huge card. I would have taken a look at this at a lower price as a Jazz fan, but it was a significant sale for sure. Jokic in a 9 sold for $12,000. I was really watching this SGA. I wanted to see how this in the gold prism would compare, and I thought the gold prism might pop a little bit. It did, but it's interesting. What is this? The 5th year Immaculate Logo Man auto. One of his 15 to 25 best cards may be in existence based on how you define those things. That card still got into the 6 figures. I did it. Would you rather between this and a Kobe Bryant? I didn't pull the Kobe up. I didn't see it in the solds. I think I just missed it. It sold for like $70,000. The Kobe Logo Men out of 2009 Upper Deck. I think SP Game Use is what it came out of. So that card's numbered out of 8, and it sold for like close to $70,000. This card sold for over 50% more. But in the poll, by far, people would have preferred the Kobe. And in all the comments, people preferred the Kobe. Again, it's a reminder of how important it is when a card's like really a player's, one of their better cards. There's not very many SGAs better than this, especially if you want him in an Oklahoma City uniform. That's a key point here. It's one of his best cards in an OKC uniform, and where, his best cards are in the Clipper uniform, and we don't really think about him as a Clipper. If one of your filters is, I want one of the best SGA cards, and oh, by the way, I want him in an OKC uniform, then this was a great option. And that's, in my opinion, that's why this one gets to $110,000. Scottie Pippen. I was really interested in watching this one because we've seen so many ultra high-end sales on 2012 Gold Prism. This one did not go as high as I thought it would. This one sold for less than I thought it would. We saw a Malone. Malone was a 10. It sold for like $12,000. We saw Paul George. Paul George is active. Sell for like $11,000. And so I wonder, as the ultra high-end set collectors are putting together some 10 sets of this, I wonder if this would have done better if it would have been a 10. Probably because there's only one graded higher. There was also a Randy Moss up this week it's his only gold prism from his playing days, and it sold for a little bit more than the Pippen did, which is cool to see. I'd rather have the Moss. I'm not a football collector, but I think the Moss card is a far more important card to him than it is to Pippen. This Jordan, we saw 2 massive Jordan exquisite cards sell, and I was following them to see which one would sell better. So it's really an interesting comparison to me. This one being the emblems of endorsement is a name that people know. This one as the autograph quad patch is not a name or a brand that people know as well, but the brand of exquisite is the same, right? One's a quad patch auto, one's an emblems of endorsement. I thought the emblems of endorsement name might carry it to be, in the same range. I did say that I thought this one would sell for more, and I thought it was a better card, and it did sell for more. It sold for quite a bit more. I think the fact that it's numbered out of 3 really matters. But you know what? Gosh, that is just a great-looking Jordan card here. I can see both people feeling like they really won on that comparison. Jordan in a PSA 5 selling for $27,000 almost. Seen a few of these sell recently and sell for bigger numbers. It makes you wonder a little bit if people view the Ultra Platinums as catching up a little bit. After all, there are exactly the same number of Michael Jordan Ultra Platinums as there are precious metal gems. Both made in 97, 100 made of both. Both of them, iconic, important Jordan parallels. I'd be interested to know which one came out first. I believe it's Ultra. I need to look back at my old Beckett's, but I believe the Ultra Jordan actually came out ahead of the PMG. People think about the PMG like it's the first. It's not the first, right? It's not the first of anything. It's the first, maybe different sort of numbering between the gold and the red, but it's not important because it's the first. It's important because of a lot of other reasons, including aesthetics and the people who put together those sets. But this Ultra, I think, like I said, I believe, I need to look it up for sure, but I believe it came out first. It's the same level of rarity. And it costs you, in this case, about 1/10 or a little bit less than 1/10 of what the PMG would have sold for. So that's interesting to think about. Gosh, I got to hurry up. I'm taking too long. Kobe PMG, or sorry, Kobe Kaboom, just talking about PMGs, sold for almost $8,000 in a PSA 9. That's the first year. Again, speaking of PMGs, an unopened box, 24 packs sold for almost $21,000. The Amen Thompson Black, huge card, huge sale, $73,000. I was interested in watching this LeBron, and I talked about this one last week. I said this is such a nice copy for somebody like me who doesn't care as much about the patch quality, just want to make sure that the patch is real and original, and that one looks exactly like I would want it to. Autograph is darker, definitely spent too much time in the like, still yields $23,000. And then I couldn't find the LeBron on this write-off either, but a friend of mine and I were talking, we're comparing the Steph and the LeBron. I have to take a sec on this. I have to take a sec. So this Steph is numbered 1 out of 50. See right here, numbered 1 out of 50. And the LeBron is just a regular card, a regular gold, but it was a PSA 9. And as I looked at the two cards, the question that I asked, so I asked two questions on my Instagram. If you didn't see them, I'll tell you what I said. I asked the question first, which do you believe is more iconic, the Steph or the LeBron? And then afterwards, showing the two cards, and I highlighted that this one was 1 of 50, and you could see the grades and stuff. I said, which one would you rather have? So interesting to me, the majority of people, I think, if I'm right, I think it was about 2/3 of the people said that they believe the LeBron was the more iconic card. But the number of which would prefer the Steph was pretty close, actually. It was like 45% would rather have the Steph, and 55% would rather have the LeBron. So I'll tell you what I think about these two questions, because I think that the community got this wrong in terms of which one's more iconic. So follow me here a little bit, because it'll take a sec. So for Steph Curry, this is his most important card in terms of the overall Topps brand from 2009. It's his most important card. I would argue it's a more important card than the National Treasures, although in BCF they came up 2 and 3 in terms of the top 25 most iconic cards in the last 25 years. Some people missed this. Some people were like, how come these 25 cards all showed up on here? I don't think that many cards from this era should have showed up. And I'm like, guys, this list is literally from the last 25 years. You got to at least read the caption. The Steph, when we did the voting, so I'll just tell you, my vote was this: the Steph was the second most iconic card of the century so far. After the LeBron exquisite collection to me is pretty easily number one for basketball. It's pretty easily number one. But for me, this Steph was number 2. The Steph Topps 2009. And then the LeBron Chrome, I think I had 3rd. I might have had it 4th after the National Treasures, but I think I had it 3rd. And enough people sort of split votes on the two Steph cards that this Steph showed up 2nd, and the National Treasures showed up 3rd, and then the LeBron Chrome showed up 4th. And I thought that was really interesting. And some people look at that and they immediately go, well, there's a lot to unpack here. Again, follow me here to the end. A lot of people are like, that can't be. You can't put LeBron's Chrome behind Steph's Chrome. That's just wrong. But I think it's right. I think it's right because for Steph, this is the card. And on the whole top 25, he has 2. This and the National Treasures. That's it. LeBron had, if I remember right, he had 8 where he's the only guy on the card, and then 3 or 4 others where he's one of the 2 or 3 guys on the card. LeBron was half the list, guys. And because it's not LeBron's most iconic card, and very few people are going to argue that the Chrome is more iconic than the exquisite rookie is. Most people aren't going to argue that. So people are going to say, no, it is, because I believe that iconic means that everybody should have a chance at some part of it. And if that's your definition, then okay, that's fine. But in terms of like the importance of the exquisite brand and the importance of the RPA, LeBron's exquisite card is easily his most recognizable, and Steph just does not have a lot of recognizable cards. So, again, got talking to this friend about like this Steph card and where it ranks in terms of his all-time best cards. And it's really an interesting question. Like, where do you think this card, being the 1 of 50, where does it rank amongst Steph's best cards? And as I started thinking about it, I was like, gosh, maybe I want to bid on this card. I hadn't been thinking about it. It sold for a lot. Would have been the most expensive card I've ever bought. I didn't buy it, obviously. But I did think about it a lot because, let's do this list real quick. The number 1 Steph Curry card in existence, I believe, is his Logoman RPA out of National Treasures, and I believe his number 2 is the Superfractor, but you could probably convince me that the Superfractor should be number 1. It's 1 or 2. Those are the top 2 cards. So what's number 3? It's really interesting. What is Steph Curry's third best individual card in existence? Some people are saying, well, it's just the Chrome Gold, right? I'm asking, what's the best individual Steph Curry card? And I think the third best is probably the 30 of 50 Topps Chrome Gold Refractor. It's certainly on the list. It's close. I mean, I would say it's third, but what did we learn from the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander that sold this week is that maybe serial number doesn't matter as much to a lot of people. Maybe it's just the 2 PSA 10s that are Topps Chrome Golds. Those are your next group, right? And then in a self-serving way, I would then ask, what are the rest of his 10? And I think his PSA 10s and his BGS 10 of his 2012 Golds are right there too. Again, self-serving because I own one of those. So that's like his group of top 10. And within that, I think close to that, the 1 of 50, the first big one, I think it's right there. I really do. Some people would say, Adam, you could never put a 2012 Gold over the 1 of 50 Chrome 09. And I would listen to those people and say, that's really interesting. I don't mind that take at all. I would take the 2012 Gold PSA 10 over it. And I believe it would sell for more than this. Again, self-serving. I own the card. So, don't just take my word for it. But for Steph, top 10 card, close to a top 10 card in existence, gets to $184,000. To me, honestly, it makes sense. And it makes sense that it would sell for more than a PSA 9 LeBron. It does. And then the simpler thing, and this is what everybody will say, the simpler thing is that the LeBron has moved a lot more recently. Why has the LeBron moved more recently? I don't actually know. I've gone back and forth on what I'd rather have, a LeBron Gold or an exquisite RPA out of 99, like with like an average patch and autograph. I've really gone back and forth on that over the years. Right now, I've very much landed in the exquisite camp just because we've seen so many of the Chrome Gold sell in the last 6 months to a year. But that's a great card, and I love it, and it's a close to top of the mountain card. The last thing I'll say is, if I can make a case that this is a top 10 Steph Curry card in existence, individual card, I'm not sure that the PSA 9 LeBron is a top 200 card in existence. And I think that really matters. Would I rather have a top 10 Steph Curry or a top 200 LeBron James? Going to the Steph. I'm taking way too long on this, but I think that's such an interesting conversation. So that's it for Golden's last week. But for Heritage, just wanted to highlight their top few sales because they had some really significant sales. I asked the question on this Ohtani, what would you rather have, this or the Skeens debut patch auto? And I asked it really late in the game. So when I put out that poll, it was this card was at $350,000 before buyer's premium, and the Skeens sold for like almost $1.2 million. And so I think to a lot of people, that question was probably kind of like a weird question because this one seemed like it was winding down and maybe it would sell for around $400,000 or $500,000. But I just kept looking at this and thinking about the story, and I just kept saying to myself, no, like this is a better card. Like, or at least it's close. You've got this card has so much about it that tells me like this is one of Ohtani's best cards in existence. But what it really comes down to is how attached it is to such a critically important moment from his career. The day he goes and he hits 50-50, 6 for 6, was it 10 or 11 RBIs one of the like storybook games in Major League history. You know, this guy who'd gotten hurt the previous year had this amazing comeback, unbelievable season, worlds, like all this great stuff. And that one game, Topps is able to get a pair of his pants. They cut the pants up. You get the very best piece here. It commemorates it. It's very clearly delineated as that game's logo man. I never like calling it logo man in baseball, but I guess that's generally accepted at this point. So I'm going to keep doing that. It's the logo man piece. It's signed. It's got all of the story that's around it. You know, would you rather have that or Skeen's debut patch auto? The debut patch auto had a whole heck of a lot more hype around it. I'm taking the Ohtani. Like, I am taking the Ohtani by a lot. Just being real. I'm not saying that the Skeens won't be the more valuable card. It could be. He could go have this incredible career as a pitcher that changes everything. But what we've already seen out of Ohtani the last few years, what he's already accomplished, and that this piece is from that game. So this is a really interesting question, and it's a debate that lingers in game used circles. Really, this is a hot topic in game used memorabilia circles. What would you rather have? Would you rather have the debut jersey or the jersey from an important moment? And as a card collector, I sort of have always felt like, well, you need the card from the important, like you need the card from early in their career. You'd rather have a rookie than a card that features them in an important moment. I don't think I feel the same way about game used. I personally would rather have the moment that's like a career altering moment than the debut. But I don't think that other people necessarily believe that. In fact, I know that other people don't believe that. Other people believe you should get the earliest you can. But for this card, it's the moment, like the iconic moment of his career, actually cut out of his pants and put on the card and then signed, numbered 1/1. It's beautiful. I love the gold on black. Autograph's graded a 9. It's probably what it should be graded. It's just amazing. And to me, the fact that it got close to the Skeens made me feel really good. But if I got to choose one, I'm taking this card by a long shot. And I might prove to be wrong, but that's how I feel about it. The other thing that I wanted to point out from Heritage is that, you know, I was sort of comparing the Ty Cobb with the Jackie. The Jackie is an 8. It's one of the highest graded cards out there. But I feel like people have really doubled down on card rarity. I've said this in different places. We're seeing people double down on card rarity rather than conditional rarity. Conditional rarity is still an important, great, wonderful thing. But, you know, this Cobb, very, very iconic card, but the reason that it's worth what it's worth is 100% because it's a Hindu back. It's a Hindu red back, red portrait Hindu back card. So if we click on it real quick, you're going to see this back of the card. It is one of the things you're used to seeing, you know, all the things that you normally see on the back here, you're not used to seeing Hindu, right? It's one of the rarest of all of the different backs, and that manifests itself in the fact that it's a pop 2 with none higher. It's the highest graded with that back. So it sells for $317,000. It oversells a Jackie 8 by a significant amount. I was really interested to see how it would do. Ty Cobb 1. Here's another Cobb, and this is the broadleaf bag. So you've got 2 different, really cool different backs. This card is hammered, though. It's a PSA 1 with a mark, and it still did $225. Again, it's not conditional rarity. It's a rare card in and of itself, or in this case, a rare back. The Ryan 10 was interested to watch that, $124,000. And I really wanted to see how the Tango Eggs Ty Cobb would sell. Man, we had an amazing Ty Cobb collection sell. This is the only Ty Cobb from the Tango Egg set in existence. Sold for $110,000. Amazing sell. Alt had a few really significant sales. The Jordan Super Rave for $42,000. The Woods, Tiger Woods PSA 9, $33,000. This Octo autograph with 8 of the 15 best players ever. Is really interested to see that. I've never felt like these get the love that I sort of appreciate them for. I can't believe that card has those 8 signatures on it, and all 8 of those guys signed it. I'm not going to pull it up, but it's Jordan, LeBron, Magic, Bird, Kareem, Hakeem, and who am I missing? The last two guys, Irving and somebody else. All 8 of those cards, or all 8 of those guys, like 8 of the best 15 players ever. Irving's the only one who might not be 15. He might be more like 18 to 20 on the all-time list. An amazing Ted Williams in an 8 sells for over 20. SGA PSA 10 White Sparkle for 20. Jordan 5, $20,000 on the star. So some great stuff for alt. Okay, so that's it for our, gosh, it took 30 minutes. And I have a call in 40 minutes from right now. So I have 30 minutes to just hit everything else here on this week. So we're going to now get into this week's auctions. Sorry we took so long on those historic sales, but I feel like last week was such an important week. The significant heritage auction and golden elite auctions. I mean, it was a really big week. But we're going to take a few minutes now. MC Sports Cards, I can only take a second on today. MC has, interestingly, they have almost 3 pages of auctions this week. It is a huge, huge week for them. Make sure I'm starting in the right place. I want to make sure I'm starting on page 1. Okay, I am. So some great vintage stuff. PSA 10 gold on the Jeter. I always love this Jordan with the scope pattern that came out before the PMG Champ set. Wilt gold, really nice PSA 10 Jordan. This Jordan stood out to me a lot. This is the 2005 base gold parallel. This is a huge card. And I'll tell you why. A lot of people feel that the best looking exquisite base set is from 2005. So it's maybe the best looking exquisite base set, arguably that. I think a lot of people feel that way. It's the gold parallel, right, which is 9 times rarer than the base, numbered to 25, and it's a PSA 9. It's a Pop 2, and I'm guessing, are there any higher on this? I'm guessing there's no higher, but I would take a look. I wouldn't be surprised, especially if this is the only one. I wouldn't be surprised to do that. To see that do a pretty big number. Of course, I have hiccups, which is great for a show like this. Bonds with an autograph 10. It says it's an autograph 10, but oh, there it is. Yeah, it looks great. My eyes were just going blurry there for a second. That's a great looking autograph on that card. Bunch of really good vintage stuff. I wish I had more time. I'm just looking at stuff today that really stands out to me as highly unusual. Great looking Kawhi right there. Go to page 2. Like I said, they've got MC has 2.5 pages this time. I think it's maybe their biggest weekly that they've done. MC's just blowing up on their weekly auction, guys. Tiffany Griffey and a PSA 10 is a big card. LeBron, we've seen a couple of these recently. The jumbo jersey out of 03, exquisite. What was that? Oh, the Duncan 97. Bowman's Best Atomic Refractor is a great card. Anthony Edwards Gold Shimmer. Giannis Silver. I love this Jim Thorpe. I love that card. That looks like it might be, I don't know if that's paper loss or if that's an image of something else in the background there. Here's the Jordan of the extra exquisite, but this is the better variation, the one with the gold guy right here, numbered out of 25. Great looking Griffey 10 on the auto there. So much good stuff. Great looking Magic Eminence card. Page 3. Sorry to fly this week, guys. Oh, I love this Jabbar. I love that card. Second year immaculate. 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 colors. Great patch. It's the gold, so it's got the beautiful hollow foil around the edges. See the patch window here? In fact, I'm gonna look at that one closer. We'll come back to that card here in a second. Man, I'm amazed how much the high voltage non-500s have gone up. BGS 9 is at $1,800. That's a big number. PSA 3 or SGC 3 on the Wilt, SGC 7 on the Russell. A Mike Vick, immaculate shield auto. That's a cool card. Great looking Caitlin Clark out of 10. And that's it for the MC Monday. I feel bad I'm taking so little on one of their best auctions ever, but got a lot of stuff to get to. So Jabbar gold. Look at that foil around the window there. just really lights up the card. And see how it also sort of sings from here, goes all the way over there. It's in this area. The serial number is not in holofoil. He signs it with a simple Abdul Jabbar. That's how almost all of his autographs are. And that is if you wanted one huge Jabbar card in your collection, boy, you could do a lot worse than that. That's one of the nicest Jabbar autograph patches you will ever see. All right, that's going to be it for MC this week. Let's dive into, you know what? I might make that Jabbar one of my cards of the week. So I'm going to highlight that. I forgot my top 5 last week. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to try to remember it this week. So there's one from MC Sports Cards that we could do. Alt has a huge auction this week. Huge auction. I think most people would argue, most people who collect in the ultra high end, this is the best Amen Thompson card in the world. And man, the Rockets are really good, and they're about to be seen a lot more on the national stage. And the question is, how big of a leap can Amen Thompson be? We know he's a top 1% athlete. We know he is a top couple percent defensive player, and that he can do some things on the court because of his athleticism that make him, he'll as long as he's athletic, he'll be a great asset for a long time. But can he be a superstar? And that's the real question. I think a lot of people would say he's the very best player on the Rockets, or at least has the most potential on the Rockets. But man, they have so much talent. The Rockets have a chance to be really great. Like really great. And Amen Thompson, I mean, what is he putting up right now? Let's just look at this real fast. So Amen Thompson, in his last few games, see what he's doing. So let's check this out together. So, right over here. So Amen Thompson yesterday puts up 12, 10, and 9. Almost puts up a triple-double. 6 for 10 from the field. Note, look at these three-point numbers. He just does not shoot threes. He's shooting 20% from the year on threes. Now, that's me holding out the thing that's against him, right? He is an ultra-athletic dude who is turning into like a really strong, good player. But he has things that he could work on, and we knew this, right? Like, we knew this. That's what you get with a player as young as he is. 14 points a game, 9.8 boards, and 5 assists. And he's almost doing the block and steal thing. He's averaging 1.6 steals and 0.9 blocks a game. It's just so much goodness. The question is, can he develop that jumper three-point range? And I don't know what the answer to that is, but in 34 minutes a game as an ultra plus defender shooting 55% from the field, that level of efficiency, what's his free throw percentage? Yeah, it's not good. Holy smokes, it's bad. He just has to develop his shot. If he can develop his shot, he'll be an ultra superstar. He'll be like a first team all NBA guy if he can actually shoot the ball. It's amazing. Man, it's not a bad second year for Mr. Thompson. All right, let's get out of that. And just to highlight that's the reason that's as high as it is because he is so promising and Houston is so good. And that'll be interesting to watch that. Okay, so the Jordan and Kobe this week, got to pull these ones up together and talk about these. So these are what I call, and I this is like something that I've sort of recently developed, but I like the name with these cards. These are don't throw the baby out with the bathwater cards. I'll tell you what I mean by that. So when I see these cards, I see two things immediately. The first thing that I see, let me make sure, is this one actually does it actually show that it's numbered out of 10? Yes, this one's number 5 out of 10, and this one's number 6 out of 10. It's kind of cool, actually, that that matches how many championships they've won. So Kobe's won 5 championships. Jordan's won 6. I would be willing to bet that these are from the same seller. So let me get back to the two things that I love, though, or the two things that I noticed right off. Emblems of Endorsement is one of the most popular of all of the exquisite inserts. Emblems of Endorsement are numbered to 15 in 2003, and then in 2004 they numbered them to 10. Kobe and Jordan are, those are the two guys in the set that you want. Obviously, you've got LeBron too. So in hand, what you'd notice with these cards is unbelievable foil. It's around the patch windows. It's a very thin foil that's gorgeous. But you see it along the sides here. You see it in like how it frames Jordan. You see it in the name. It's wonderful. It's like the limited logos that year, except for you're breaking it into two patches and you're making it far rarer. And limited logos from this year are one of the most popular sets of all time. So what's the other major thing that stands out? The other major thing that stands out is that these autographs are both in a world of hurt. They have spent way too much time in the light. Now, the Jordan's a lot better than the Kobe. They're both still there. They're both still definitely there. They both spent way too much time in the light. And that hurts the overall aesthetic. It hurts the value. It is not a good thing. It's a bad thing that these have spent as much time as they have in the light. It's a very bad thing. Keep your cards out of the light. So why do I call it a don't throw the baby out with the bathwater card? Well, they are still important inserts of two of the most collected players, I would argue the two most collected players ever, from the brand, from one of the insert sets, from the second, I would say the second best year, I think, and certainly the second overall set. So the question is, how much would these sell for if they had bright blue autographs? And the answer is way, way, way more than they're going to sell for. So why is it a don't throw the baby out with the bathwater card? Well, if you want an inserts, this is going to be the best chance you ever get at the price that they're going to sell for. You're never going to see them sell for less than this. That's my take. I don't think you will. Because their original pack pulled inserts and the fact that somebody left them in the light so much is what is going to get you a deep discount on these cards. So do you want them? Do you want to be able to own them? If you do, and you're not willing to spend crazy, crazy, crazy money, this might be the best you ever do. So that's what I like about those cards. All right. Now let's go back up here to the top. Another big time white sparkle, this time Mahomes. Last time it was SGA. Again, another card that's going to be from the same seller, an 04 Kobe limited logos. This is not the one that we call the Look, one of my favorite cards in my collection, but a BGS 9 that has, I think, spent too much time in the light as well. We'll look a little bit closer at that. This Cade Cunningham horizontal patch autograph. Boy, they're playing well. And I love seeing them in their fight last night with the Timberwolves, man. I just love a team that will fight. This is a great looking card. 1 of 1 from the rookie year. Just an amazing aesthetic to the card. One of those that I think you'd really like to see in person. Luka Cracked Ice is a beautiful card. Jared McCain. And this is one of the more interesting cards of the week. I want to talk about it for a second. And then after we talk about each of those, we'll be done. I like this Jordan a lot here. Look at that one. We'll look at the Kenny Anderson. Ooh, another Jordan exquisite. Just the autograph here, though. Okay, let's talk about each of these. So this autograph, not nearly as bad. I mean, not nearly as bad as the other Kobe. And this, 24 of 50. This year, he was not wearing the number 24. But Kobe Bryant's number 24. So what do you think about this card? Autograph's a little faded. 24 out of 50. Unbelievable holofoil. Ooh, I like it. I do like it. Like that card a lot. The Jared McCain, though, is probably going to be my favorite card this week from Alt. He had a chance this year to be Rookie of the Year. Very promising social media presence, but was playing exceptionally well before a major injury. And then he was out for the rest of the season. The question is, how does he come back? And, how much would this card be worth had he not gotten hurt? Man, injuries suck, guys. Injuries suck so bad. I'm going to put that in my top 5 this week. I love that card. And then the Jordan, this is the scripted swatches. Again, another one of those original exquisite inserts. I think the hobby's crazy. I think that's an amazing card, and the card will suffer so much less because the autograph's on the fabric. That autograph's been around for 17 years now. It looks amazing. I think it's going to look amazing in another 17 years. And then the Kenny Anderson green. Probably, I think most people would argue, the best Kenny Anderson card ever. I think he was the second overall pick in the 1991 draft. Really good NBA career. Maybe a few All-Star games, couple All-Star games. Not a Hall of Famer, but had a real run in the NBA and in college. And I would guess has some real popularity. This is a BGS 7 Pop 1. There's 1/8. That's it for the high end of the BGS Pop Report. Just a great card. And then this Jordan autograph's just special. Beautiful autograph on here. You can see here it's graded a 10 on the back. This is the enshrinements. It's not my favorite year of enshrinements. I like the ones that where he's signing on holofoil better, but not everybody likes that. A lot of people like this look better. Gotta love the marbling. I don't like it when they put writing behind an autograph, except for this one's done really well. Sometimes Upper Deck's gotten a little bit too tricky with putting like different things behind a player's autograph, and it takes away from the autograph. That's not what happens here. This autograph looks exactly like you want it to. How am I doing on time? I got 14 minutes. Gotta hurry. All right. Let's put, I already put the McCain over here, right? Okay, McCain, we got the Kobe, and we got the Cream right now is my favorites of the week. Okay, now let's hit hoodies, just the top end of the hoodies. Really neat to see this Kobe. This is from the 2012 Immaculate set. 2012 Immaculate was the first year. This is the autograph patch set to 100. It's a great card. BGS 95 is a big deal on it. I would guess the pop's really low. PSA 2 on the Wilt. Another big-time flag autograph. This one's numbered out of 50. Timeless Moments, Purple Carmelo for over $1,000. Then you get down into the coin and Judge Kaboom and some non-sport stuff. Another Judge, big-time Judge card. So a few really big items ending this week at Card Hobby, and then the best of the best MJ as well. So I said Card Hobby. I'm sorry. I meant hoodies. Forgive me. I said Card Hobby and meant hoodies. Golden's Weekly. Some neat stuff in Golden's Weekly. Look at this flag. The All-American Half-Court Offense signature. So this is an insert autograph from 2024. Chrome. Flags stuff is just crazy right now because he doesn't have anything, really. And he's at the center stage. He's been unbelievable thus far in the tournament. I caught one full game, and that was the Sweet 16 game. And he was so good, I was like, holy crap, that guy's going to be a legit star in the league for such a long time. It's almost shocking to see an American white dude who's as good as he is. Who was the last American white dude where you're like, holy crap, like that guy is amazing. I've heard people always like to do like the comparisons for guys that are like the same color and the same the same ethnicity and the same like type of player a little bit. So I've heard a few people say, is this guy the next Keith Van Horn? Well, Keith Van Horn is really good. He had a really strong NBA career for like 4 or 5 years. But Cooper Flagg's athleticism is like where his strength is. He is so strong, especially for his age. He jumps out of the gym, incredible strength, very disciplined, doesn't take bad shots, gets to the right place. But he's like, he's going to be like, he'll get to the league and he'll be immediately a top 10% defender on the wing, top 20% immediately on the wing. And then he'll be a top level defender going forward. He is the guy who he reminds me most of is Kawhi Leonard. Now, Kawhi Leonard's probably the best wing defender that we've seen, like in this generation, one of the best wing defenders ever. But Kawhi is freaking hurt all the time, man. He plays, availability is the best ability, and Kawhi plays like twice a year. He gets hurt so often that I can't do Kawhi Leonard. But from a talent perspective, Kawhi's one of the best players I have ever seen. Offensively, defensively, everything that he gives you, man, he's amazing. So I look at Cooper Flagg and I see Kawhi Leonard, but a guy who really wants to play. I don't know if he can get to the same incredible ultra best ever defensive player, but like he'll be an all defensive player 100% as long as he's healthy, I think. And then not only that, but offensively he gives you everything that Kawhi does too. which is crazy. And at this stage, Kawhi, we were worried he couldn't shoot. Kawhi has those hands that are so huge. I don't know if Cooper Flag has that, but okay. So I've talked enough about Cooper Flag. It's a really cool patch auto right here. I don't know what that is. A really cool patch. That's worth looking at for sure. Neat Jordan autograph, Kobe Thunder and Lightning card. Oh, what is this? Master Collection. This is a duel. Is this with Dean Smith with Jack Dempsey? Boy, I need to know what the combination is there. Why do we have Jack Dempsey and Michael Jordan on the same card? I should know, but I don't. So this is one of those cards where they take like a Jack Dempsey document, they cut it out, they put it on the card, they put it in front of Michael Jordan, they say sign it. What does Michael Jordan say when he's signing next to Jack Dempsey? Why did Michael Jordan? What is the? We gotta figure out what the combination is there. Optic Downtown, Joe Burrow. Ooh, Gareth Bale, Black Kaboom. That's a big card right there. Duncan Go Nuts, MJ. Skybox Premium Box. I'm just going to scroll down here for a second and see if anything else really jumps out at me. Ooh, the Stockton Star sealed T-Mag with Mark Eaton on the front. Jazz fan here. Absolutely love that. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go to the next one. Like I said, we're really running out of cards this week. Okay. Running out of time this week. Excuse me. Okay, so there's the Fanatics Collect Weekly has some really strong cards in it this week, and we're gonna highlight, we'll say 10 of them, and then we got, like I said, we got to get out of here in the next 9 minutes. So BGS 9.5 on the MJ looks like it's probably a min gem. Another big Skeens. This is the Transcendent Superfractor from 1960. 1/1 gem mint. I want to look at this autograph right here. We'll cover that one in a second. One thing that I thought was really interesting, I highlighted this a couple weeks ago. We had this very unique situation where we had a 97 MJ jersey versus a 98 MJ jersey, both ending at the same time. Amazingly, we have the same thing happening again. This time they're not in the same grade. They're different grades. And I just want to pull up one of them this time. This is the Jordan because it's in an authentic holder. I have a copy of this card. Mine's also in an authentic holder. Mine's from SGC. This one's from PSA. But these cards are often hammered. I don't know if they came out of the packs directly this way. I sort of suspect that they did. I also want to look at this duel with MJ and Kobe. You'll see why in just a minute. A couple of really big cards from the 30s and 40s here. A 2 on the Ruth, a 3 on the Jackie. 2 top 10 most iconic cards of all time. The 1996 Bandai Cardass Pokemon or Charizard, I know is a big card. Oh, I love this Luka. This is the game used flawless RPA, and this is the best one in my opinion. It's a great image of Luka. It's flying through the air. Number 225. This one's still in the Panini. Still in the encased. It's still encased by Panini. I personally would prefer that over the graded card. I love that it came out of the pack that way. All right, let's do a couple more pages real quick here, and then we will get you guys out of here. All right. I really don't have a lot of time today, guys. Sorry. I saw that gold Giannis. Love that card. Orange Giannis, but that's a 1 of 6. 1 of 6? Is that right? Wow. That's a really low pop for that card. I would have guessed that this was like a pop 20. Pop 6. That's what they say here. Double check that. Make sure that's right. But I believe that's probably right. Interesting Tiger here. You got to know. I'll hit that one in a second too. Give you guys a little bit of background on it. And then I had somebody message me about a card. I thought it was here, but maybe it's not. Ooh, Big Garnett, the 98 Rubies. That's a big card. Ovechkin BGS 9.5 on the Ultimate. That's a big card. What is that? Oh, another big Cooper Flag here. Boston University. Check to see if that card's on, that autograph's on card, but that's a very cool card. Let's do one last page, and then we'll be done. Fanatics Collect pages go so fast. Oh, I forgot Card Hobby too. I've got to do Card Hobby. So I've got to go quick. We'll make this the last page. What is this? Ovi Bure 1 of 1. That's cool. It's dual stick card there. I had somebody tell me there was a LeBron. I just have to check this real quick because I had an idea for a cool story. But if it doesn't come up here, then we're just going to move on real fast. Okay, cool. So I want to just hit with you guys real quick. Check this out. So in 2004, Topps Pristine numbered their regular refractors to 25. This LeBron is number 12 of 25. Okay. So it's $190. It's pop 1 of 8. They're 7 graded higher. This is just BGS 9. Remember last week, just a couple days ago, the BGS 9 of Kobe Bryant, which is the gold, to 27, also in BGS 9, sold for $22,000. Now, this is a really interesting comparison to me. So interesting, okay? I think if you were to take a sort of multiplier between LeBron and Kobe on their stuff where they're in the same set, but they're not rookies, it would be really interesting to see what the normal multiplier is between the two cards, between the two guys. I don't have any idea what the difference is between those. I don't even want to speculate. I have no idea. What I'm 100% confident on is that on this set, that does not, like, they don't tie together, you know, as far as like how it usually is. The usual multiplier between these two players does not exist within this set. It doesn't. And the reason why is that image of Kobe is just incredible, and that image of LeBron is not in the same world. It's not a bad image. It's a great image, and it's an amazing looking card. It's an amazing looking card in hand. It's not gold, but the gold is less rare, right? The regular refractor of LeBron here, like, this is a huge LeBron card because it's a refractor. It's an early career card for LeBron, and it's number 25. It's sitting at $190, again, with a whole bunch of time to go. But again, this is where I think you have to understand cards more as art than you do as like a stock. Because if you have in your mind what a normal multiplier is for Kobe and LeBron, it's not going to be that here. And so I wanted to sort of go through that with you guys real quick. All right, let's talk about each of these cards that we have that are ending this week that I've highlighted already. And then I got to get out of here. Triple autograph. I love this card so much. I love this card. Magic in the center. You'd rather have it Kobe. If it's Kobe, it's well into the 6 figures. Okay. So yes, it's not Kobe. I get it. Magic's one of the best 10 players of all time, and probably in a lot of people's minds, most people's minds, even better than Kobe Bryant. These three guys led their eras. Magic Johnson is one of the most important players in the history of the NBA and on a lot of people's top 3 lists of all time. Jordan's on most as the number 1, and LeBron's on most as number 2. You could make the case that's the 3 best players of all time. Beyond all of that, though, like, it's just a beautiful card. Premier was not considered the ultra high-end set, but I will just tell you, on their multi-autographs, some of them are just so much nicer than the other multi-autographs at the time. They're not hollow foil, they're regular foil, but just that is what you want out of a triple autograph right there. Aesthetically, that is what you want. The authentic grade does not bother me even a teensy tiny little bit at all. I just don't care at all. Be interested to know what it would grade, but I don't care that it's authentic. It does not bother me. That's going to be one of my cards of the week for sure. And then let's come over here. Yeah, I wanted to check on this Jordan. I want to see. I bet this is really hammered somewhere. Mine, show you where mine is hammered. This one is not hammered where mine is. Mine has a big issue here on this little piece. This is like one of the Jordan cards, right? Came up on the Iconic 100. This is the non-autograph version, but there's only a couple hundred in the pop. My guess is there's some pretty good regrades. There's where your hammered corner that's not a corner is. A lot of these are hammered like that. And I think you can see them on the back too sometimes. So again, though, like, this is, especially if you call this an insert, this is right there with the Jambalaya and the Scoring Kings as far as like the most recognizable Jordan inserts ever. Some people don't think about it like it's like it's an insert, but that is what it is. It does have a game used jersey, but it's still an insert card. Interesting. So look at the back here. This back corner looked really bad on the front. Looked pretty okay on the back. I mean, it's not perfect, but whoa, what crazy there. The back looks way better than the front does, but the front is not bad. It's just that one little issue. What would a grade if they put a numeric grade on it? Not high. I mean, it's a 4 or a 5 or something, but I don't mind that. Like, that's pretty nice for an authentic Jordan. So the question on this card is this: how much of its value is ascribed to its condition to you? how much of the value on this card is ascribed to its condition versus how much of its value is ascribed to just getting the card. For an authentic, this one doesn't look bad to me. Looks pretty good. And it is the card. So this is one of those that I would look at and I would say, okay, and always check when it just says authentic. Make sure, check online, make sure it's not altered, because it could be altered too. But assuming it's not altered, and again, check online, check the search, make sure of that. But this is just a really wonderful copy of this card, in my opinion. Okay, I am totally out of time. I wanted to highlight this because this is one of the best dual auto sets ever. It is amazing looking, but for some reason, Kobe signed the gold ones on card and the silvers are not on card, and it just is. It just hurts it. And a lot of people throw the baby out with the bathwater on this card because it's like, it's a dual, but it's got the sticker. I hate it. But it will sell for one tiny fraction of what it would sell for otherwise. So it might be worth looking at based on the price. And then I love that. Wow, this is a preview? So I don't even know what this is, okay? I don't know where the preview thing comes from. I don't know. Did it come out of 01 Upper Deck? If it did, this is so cool. So 2001 SP Authentic, in every box you get like one numbered card. You get a couple of like autographs and jersey cards. You get one numbered card that was like a numbered rookie from the set. And they were numbered out of these like huge numbers, like 39.99. But this Tiger is out of 50. You could open box after box, case after case of this stuff and never get anything good. I worked at the card shop when it came out. Trust me, a lot of people opened this stuff and got nothing, like nothing. Box after box, nothing. That's of the SP though. This I think is out of 01 Upper Deck. Might have to do a story on this one this week because I don't know it and I think it's worth the research. The fact that it's out of 50, it says it says red. Are there other parallels? This is one worth doing some research on. And then last but not least, I want to look at Card Hobby. My call starts in 10 minutes. I gotta do this quick. So I'm shopping by category all, and I'm just going to sort by auction and then highest. And I just want to look at just like the first page of stuff. What in the world? What is going on with this Shea? The Shea says it's been bid up to $206,000 out of 99. So that number calls into question the legitimacy of the bid. It's way too high of a number. That doesn't make any sense. So is it his jersey number or something? Okay, you just got to look at that real quick. I hate calling out stuff and saying, oh, it's got to be Schilling. Guys, it's 87 out of 99. That doesn't make any sense, guys. Why would the 87 of 99 Shea be over 200 grand? I don't believe that. Kobe Bryant numbers, $22,000. Oh, we saw this not that long ago too. The number 2 and 4. Exquisite MJ autograph patch. Some really cool stuff at the top here. I love this Kobe from 2013. His first jumbo patch auto out of Flawless. Really nice signature spotlight right there. Early silhouettes. That's a 2013. I love this Kobe right here. I love it. Love this card. I want to look at that one closer. Oh, I clicked on the wrong button. That might be it this week for Card Hobby if I did. So this is not the oldest slab, but surely not the newest. Kobe's autograph it doesn't look as good as it normally does. It's sort of the K here is a little bit funky, but it's probably still graded a 10. It is. It's technically doing what it's supposed to do. Like I said, it's not my favorite, but it does what it's supposed to do. But I'll tell you what it does do. It's just the nicest autograph set ever made. Like I legitimately believe that this autograph set is the nicest autograph set ever. The 04 Enshrinements autograph set. The autograph on the just beautiful gold holofoil that's just shining at you. It's just wonderful. I wish the image was a little bit better. I'd like to know how blue the autograph is, but the autograph looks strong to me. I have not seen this copy of this card before. I love that card. I love it. And the autograph doesn't bother me. It's not exactly what I want, but man, it doesn't bother me. And I think we're going to call it there. Oh, gosh, I could have used that one maybe in my top 5 too. But I'm not. By that one, I mean the Kobe that I was looking at. But I think we already have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I love that Kobe Bryant. We're going to skip it, though. Well, actually, I can get to it quick. So let's do that. There we go. So these are going to be our top 6 cards of the week for me. Again, I like to show you guys what I think are the most interesting cards of the week to watch and my favorite cards of the week to watch. So that's right. That's right. This is not even in the top 5 because this is a card from last week. So I messed that up. And then that leaves us with the Kobe Exquisite Enshrinements autograph, which I just love. This triple autograph of MJ, Magic, and LeBron. The LeBron 04, which I said I don't think that the image is as nice as the Kobe. It's not, but it's out of 25. The Jared McCain and the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. As far as like ultra heat, high-end stuff, I didn't pull any of that this week. My number 5 card of the week is going to be the LeBron. The LeBron's image makes it so that I'm not going to put it at number, anything higher, but I do think it'll be interesting to watch how that compares to the Kobe. My number 4 card of the week is going to be, oh, this is tough. It's going to be this Kobe Bryant. No, it's not. It's going to be the McCain. The McCain has a chance to be the best card of the week by a long shot. It does. The best card right now, probably of the week, is the Amen Thompson that's ending it all. I could have highlighted that one. Probably should have highlighted that one. You know what? I am going to highlight that one. In fact, didn't I leave it up? Because I was going to come back to it. No, I didn't. And I just realized I didn't get to some of the other things that I wanted to as well. Heck, guys. I'm putting this one in here. I'm leaving the McCain. I want to take out this LeBron, honestly. I'm going to take it out of my top 5. It's cool, but and I love the story, but I just don't. It's not one of my 5 favorite cards of the week, and I think it's disingenuous if I say that it is. So number 5 actually is going to be. Well, this is really tough now. Those are 5 really great cards. 5 is going to be Jared McCain. It has a chance to be the best Prism card from 2024, but he's got to get healthy, and we don't know exactly what he's going to be. Number 4 is going to be the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. For my collection, personally, it might be number 1 because of what its price point is. It's one of the nicest Jabbar cards that you're ever going to find, ever. I just love it. I would think it should sell for quite a bit more than that, but I don't know for sure. Number 3, we're going to do the triple autograph here. Another card that for my collection I would just love. It'll be interesting to see how high that one goes. And then we're going to do the Kobe number 2 is maybe my favorite autograph, my favorite autograph set ever, and just a great card of Kobe. And the card of the week is going to be the Amen Thompson. It sort of has to be, is his best card in existence. And, I know it's at a really big number already, but like it's the Amen Thompson card. And I love him. I love watching him. He's so much fun to watch. And it's pretty rare when you see a player's best card pop up. So we're going to call that as our top 5. I got to go jump on my call. You guys are all awesome. Thank you for watching. Please like, please subscribe. Please do all that stuff. Please let me know if you win anything that we talked about tonight. And until next time, happy collecting.